If you've ever invested for income, someone has probably told you to chase high-yield stocks. But what if the highest-yielding stocks are sometimes the worst place to put your money? Today we're talking about Dividend Aristocrats, the rare companies that don't just pay dividends, they grow them, year after year, for decades. And on the Australian share market, there is only one.
Before we do though, quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not a licensed advisor. This is purely educational. Do your own research. Talk to a professional if you need to. All right, let's go.
28. That's the number of consecutive years one ASX company has raised its dividend. Not maintained it, not kept it flat, actually raised it every single year since 1998. Through the dot-com crash, through the global financial crisis, through COVID. That kind of consistency is almost unheard of on the ASX, and understanding why it matters could completely change how you think about income investing. So what exactly is a dividend aristocrat? In the US, it has an official definition. A company must be in the S&P 500 and must have raised its dividend every single year for at least 25 consecutive years. Miss 1 year, and you're out. In Australia, there's no official equivalent index, but the spirit of the concept is the same. Find companies that grow their dividend year in and year out without exception. Right now in the US, 69 companies hold this title. On the ASX, just one qualifies. Let me show you why this matters with a simple comparison. Imagine two investors, both putting $10,000 into the share market. Investor A finds a stock yielding 6%. Nice income. They collect $600 a year. 10 years later, still $600 a year. The share price has actually fallen 30% because the company wasn't growing. That high yield was a warning sign, not an opportunity. Investor B takes a different approach. They buy a stock yielding just 3%, but the dividend grows 8% every year. By year 5, they're earning $660. By year 10, $971, more than Investor A ever earned, and the share price has followed earnings upward. That is the power of a dividend grower.
So, which ASX company holds the crown? Washington H. Soul Pattinson, or Soul Pats, trading under the ticker SOL. This century-old investment company has raised its dividend every year since 1998, 28 consecutive years. Their most recent interim dividend was 48 cents per share, up 9.1% on the year before. The dividend is fully franked, which means the grossed-up yield is approximately 3.5%. We'll come back to what franking means in just a moment, because for Australian investors, it's a big deal. Soul Pats is a diversified investment company, holdings across listed shares, private equity, real estate, and credit. That diversification is exactly what allows it to keep growing dividends through downturns that would floor a single industry business.
Soul Pats may be the only true dividend aristocrat on the ASX, but there are still a few other income names worth knowing about. First, Brickworks. Historically, Brickworks built one of the strongest dividend records on the market, maintaining or increasing its dividend every year since 1976. But it did include flat years, so it still does not meet the strict aristocrat definition. And there is one more wrinkle now. Brickworks merged with Soul Pats in September 2025. So today, it makes more sense to think of that dividend history as part of the broader Soul Pat story. Then there is APA Group. APA has built a long record of rising distributions, which is slightly different from the classic fully franked dividend story many share investors think about. Coles is another one to watch, with its latest interim dividend fully franked and higher than a year ago. Telstra is also improving its payout, although its latest interim dividend was only partly franked, not fully franked. So the broader point is this: Australia does have several solid income names, but once you apply the strict rule of raising the payout every single year, the list gets very short. So why does Australia only have one true dividend aristocrat while the US has 69? Three main reasons. First, global shocks. Ramsay Healthcare had a 15-plus year unbroken streak. Then COVID-19 hit. Boards had to prioritize survival. The dividend was suspended. Second, our market is dominated by resource companies. BHP, Rio, Fortescue. Their earnings can swing 50% in a single year depending on commodity prices. Cyclical earnings means cyclical dividends. Third, banking regulation. APRA forced the big four banks to cut dividends in 2020. No matter how profitable a bank is, a regulator can override management's intentions. Here's something that makes Australian dividend investing uniquely powerful: franking credits. When an Australian company pays corporate tax at the 30% rate, it can pass those tax credits directly to shareholders. So a $100 dividend from a fully franked company comes with $43 in franking credits attached. Your actual pre-tax equivalent is $143. For many investors, this means you pay little or no extra tax on the dividend income. For super funds in pension phase, paying 0% tax, those $43 become a cash refund from the government. That's a significant boost on top of the cash dividend itself. One rule to know: you must hold shares for at least 45 days to be eligible for franking credits. Short-term trading to capture the payout won't work. So here's the rule I want you to walk away with today. Don't chase yield, chase the grower. A company that raises its dividend every year is telling you something important about itself. Its earnings are growing. Its balance sheet is strong. Management has the confidence to commit to shareholders year after year. That compounding income, 3% today, 6% in 10 years, is far more valuable than a 6% yield that never changes. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, subscribe for more ASX investing explainers. We cover the ASX from a data-driven perspective, designed for Australian investors who want to understand what they own.